Hey there, Glenn Tobias. It's day 2 of 45 days of getting yourself in the rhythms of leadership. I just came up with that title. That wasn't the official title. I just made that up. But I do call my 4-part template that I told you about yesterday the rhythms of leadership. 40 lessons in the rhythms of leadership. And by the way, I use it all the time. I mean, I literally do. I'll be in a situation and I'll say, let me remind myself of what I should be doing in a situation like this. What kind of behaviors I should be following. What tactics and strategies I should be thinking about. And I will follow that, I'll follow that template. And they're great reminders. And I check in with the first one, the characteristics, which is the one we're going to look at for the next 10 days. And I say, how am I doing in this category? How am I doing in that category? Hey, I'm going to pause for a second. And we're back. Okay, so today's lesson, the L of leadership in the category of characteristics of a leader. And I like to call them leader influencers, because that's really, if you're not in a situation where you have command over people and they're sort of forced to do what you say, it's a whole different dynamic for you to be a leader, because you have to influence people. And that comes through your lifestyle, that comes through decisions, how you treat them, the example you set, a lot of things like that, your courage, so forth. So, first one is love. Love, and I told you that yesterday, love. What does love have to do with it? What's love got to do with it? No, that's not the way we do it. So the point of this, true leaders, now hear me now, let me preface, before I finish that sentence, let me preface with this. We had an online discussion group, about 40 guys were in the group, and one fella brought up a really good point. And he said, when I look through these characteristics of a leader, he said a lot of these could apply to leaders both good and bad. Hitler. He said Hitler fulfilled a lot of these. He said, so what's to set apart the difference of a moral and a quality, let's call it good, a good leader compared to an evil or immoral, a bad leader? I don't like using good and bad in that case, because, you can have a moral person who's not a good leader. So let's say moral and evil and so forth. And I thought, what, that's a great question. He really posed a good one. So I stopped and thought about it some day or two. I looked back over the list, and I'll tell you the distinguishing factor was this. And it's the L in the leadership under characteristics of leaders. Leaders love individuals. And when I say love, I'm not even talking about a feeling. I'm talking about an action. I'm talking about a choice. If you happen to be a Christian, you'll understand this. Talking about biblical kind of love. But if you're not a believer, that's fine. I hope you're still watching and getting something out of it. And the point is, leaders love individuals. They care for one person at a time. And rather than elevate the institution or the organization or the team or whatever the case above caring for an individual, they care for that individual. And the institution is there because there is a vision to be achieved, and each individual needs to be developed and nurtured to their best, because if we care for them individually, they will, in the long run, be better. They will better serve the needs of the team to achieve the vision. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Some leaders get so hung up on just the team that the development and the nurturing and the growth of individuals gets left behind. That's never how you build the best team. Now, there are occasions where a leader has to say, look, we have to do what's best for the team, and I need you to play along. But there still needs to be an investment into individuals to help them grow and achieve their best, to be the best they can be in the widest application of what that means in all different, spread across all categories of behavior, of action, of performance, of characteristics. They need to be the best they can be, because if you develop them correctly, they're going to automatically serve the team and ultimately the vision, the achievement of the vision in the best possible way. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If not, email me. Email me at Glenn@thereturnofman.net. Glenn@thereturnofman.net. And tell me where you think I've missed it, or go in the comments below. By the way, go below this video and hit that subscribe button, would you? And if you don't mind giving it a thumbs up, that helps us on the scoring and we become more relevant and so forth. I think we're about to see some real sea change in our society, really maybe around the world, but certainly here in the United States. And I believe it's very important at this time for many of us, those of us who have the vision for this, to be developing men and fathers and families and their roles in their communities, businesses, local churches, synagogues, whatever the case. We need to be developing men. That's what I'm setting about to do. And so we need to get our messages out as much as we can. Help me do that. Subscribe and click like. And then I'll see you tomorrow for day 3 of 45 days of getting in your rhythm of leadership. Yeah, I like that title. I just came up with that. I like that. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.